Irving Berlin's Holiday Inn. It's a comedy, it's a drama, it's a musical, and it's a great story that songs will soon become popular themes and anthems for their respected holidays. But perhaps most noticeably, White Christmas, which was introduced to the world for the first time here.
Where the treetops glisten,
and children listen.
and children listen.
To date, that song is one of the best-selling singles of all time, and up until 1997, the best-selling song of all time. In fact, it was actually played so many times between 1942 and 1947 that Bing Crosby was actually asked by the original recording studio, Decca Records, to re-record the song due to damage on the master copy because of its frequent use. It's also interesting to note that the actual Holiday Inn hotel chain was inspired by the film for their namesake. With those fun facts aside, let's look at the story. It stars Bing Crosby as Jim Hardy and Fred Astaire as Ted Hanover, two members of a showbiz trio that are breaking up. Jim's the underdog of the flick and Ted's the ladies' man. Well, watch your back, Jim, because Ted just stole your girl.
If you ever want to look me up, you know where to find me, Midville, Connecticut. Under a large, shady tree.
Jim goes to New England and starts living the country life, only to find out he hates it and goes nuts. Well, great news! He's better now and heads to New York to tell his old partner about his new idea to open a dance and dine place that he wants to open up at his farmhouse and is looking for talent to play there.
He would think of that. Did you get your discharge papers from that sanitarium?
Fortunately, at the time, his old manager's in the room and takes one of his cards, and then gives it later to a flower shop girl who corners the manager after recognizing him. Now, Jim's a lucky guy, because aside from just falling off a roof, he's got himself a partner who can dance. Back in New York, however, things are looking down for Ted because his new fiancée, as well as Jim's former fiancée, Lila, has run off to marry a Texas millionaire. And after 7 drinks of bourbon, and that's in real life, not fictional, Fred Astaire and his character are ready to film one of the most unforgettable dance scenes in cinematic history, known only as the drunk dance. From there, the movie quickly becomes the Cinderella of drunken hangovers, with Ted obsessed with finding a girl he can't remember dancing with the night before, only after getting a push by his manager to do so to replace his lost partner. Unfortunately, the only way the two can tell the girl is either by seeing her from the back or having Ted dance with her. Well, the holidays come and go. Finally, Ted finds her. Jim can't believe it, and they start fighting over another girl yet again. Along the way, there are a number of holiday songs and routines that have a lot of effort put into them. This scene, in fact, with Fred Astaire took over 3 days to complete and uncounted hours of rehearsal until they finally got it right. Unfortunately, the film does have its downfalls with today's society, most notably Abraham Lincoln's birthday scene, which is important to the story, yet cut out of all televised versions for what many consider as stereotyping. I'm trying my best to be careful about this subject, which is why K3 Lights has decided to slap the warning label on prior to this review. Film studios do this time and time again, and think they can take an eraser to their films and act like nothing's ever happened. Yet it did, and we learn from it, and life goes on. I have to say myself, after reading up on the history of this theater tradition, it's an interesting subject, and I suggest if you have the time to do the same. Getting back to the story, Ted eventually finds out who the girl is, Hollywood decides to get involved somehow and wants to make a movie about Jim's Holiday Inn, and now the film becomes a story of making a movie about a movie.
Hollywood is always interested in new ideas, and we think this is a honey. This is a honey. This is a honey.
Even though Christmas Day itself and White Christmas are only on the screen for a total of less than 15 minutes, Holiday Inn is a fantastic flick to watch this holiday season. That's isolated setting and atmosphere pulls you in until the end, like only a classic piece of cinema can.
This is a honey.